Caitlin Clark being snubbed from the Olympic team. Right decision or wrong decision? Let's talk about it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. I hope all is well. So many of us who have been in the sports world, and even those who are really not into sports like that, know that Caitlin Clark was not chosen to be the top 12 on the Olympic roster. They call it a snub. I don't think it was a snub, but you could look at it from two point of views. So there have been a lot of talk on ESPN and different platforms, on YouTube and social media and things like that. So I wanted to give my 2 cents. But there are some who are saying that she should have been put on the roster due to the exposure, having more exposure to women's basketball, to the WNBA, due to the fact that people want to see her play. And not just people in the United States, but people overseas want to see her play. And there are some who are saying that, hey, she will get her turn and she will get her time. Now, I want to read what, first, you know what, let's go into what Stephen A. Smith said yesterday on the show.
Y'all finished? Everybody finished? Everybody get it off the chest?
No, I got more points. I got more points for you, so go ahead, because I got more.
Okay. None of what Janae and Andrea said was inaccurate. And I'm going to say something to you that I have said on many, many occasions. It's not that you're wrong. It's that we don't care. Everything y'all said does not matter for this particular instance. We don't want to hear anything about Team USA. We know they won 7 straight goals. Put Andrea and Janae up on this screen. I want to look at them this whole segment when I'm talking to them. You just highlighted 7 straight gold medals. Oh my God. We're really worried that they're not going to get an 8th. Oh, we really worried. I mean, we got to make sure that spots 1 through 12, every single spot that is picked. I mean, it's got to be, because it's pivotal, Shannon. I don't know if you noticed, Shannon, it's pivotal. I mean, they won 7 straight. They might not get 8. They might not get 8. Stop it. You know good and damn well, with or without Caitlin Clark, they're going to probably win the gold again. That's not what this conversation is about. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. I want all the ladies on this squad to know every single one of y'all are deserving of it. Caitlin Clark does not deserve a spot ahead of any of the players on this roster, okay? If we're talking just basketball, you know we're not. You know we're not. Let's harken back to the Dream Team in 1992. Remember when Christian Laettner was on that squad? Forget the other pro play. Forget the pro players. Forget the pro players. That's a given. First time NBA players were allowed to participate. Don't put that damn screen up when I'm talking right now. I want to see Janae and Andrea, okay? The point is this. Those rosters, right? Those players were on there. Do you know that Christian Laettner also was chosen ahead of Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning? You know why? He was a 2-time national champion. He was a Wooden Award winner. And he was white. And he had his own cachet. He brought it to the table. He was a big-time collegiate player who was white and busting people's you-know-what. They couldn't miss, and they didn't need him. You had Jordan, you had Magic, you had everybody, and you still picked that dude. Why? It wasn't because of basketball, even though he had the basketball credentials. It was because of something else, and they didn't need the pub. But the WNBA does. You got a max salary at $250,000. You had attendance, although it was trending in the right direction, certainly wasn't where you wanted it to be. And as Shannon pointed out just the other day, you got a team in the Indiana Fever with their struggling selves, struggling to win a damn game and be relevant. No team in the WNBA was worse other than the winless Washington Mystics, okay? And they went from 4,000 in attendance to 17,000. This girl is box office. I said a rising tide lifts all boats. What you do, especially if you're Team USA and you're trying to be globalized, it is an opportunity to globalize the WNBA brand. So people like Brittany Griner, God bless her soul, and others don't have to go to Russia in the off season to play additional basketball.
And Stephen A is right here. And Shanae Abumake was on Nightcap last night, also speaking to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, about what was said on First Take. But and she made some good points too. But here's the thing here, and we're going to go to what Diana Taurasi said. Here's the thing here. So the WNBA, there have been a lot of complaints, a lot of talk about how women in the WNBA aren't getting a fair salary, and how much the NBA players are getting paid, and there's been even talks about how some were saying that the NBA players need to give some money or give some of their salary to the WNBA players. But it's all about revenue. It's all about who you're attracting, who is buying the product, who is watching the product. And that's what it's all about. And like I said before, like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you can't complain about your salary or the exposure of what the men aren't doing. And personally, I believe that the men are supporting the WNBA more than the women. But you can't complain about that when you don't have your product, Caitlin Clark, the one who is filling up all these seats and arenas, filling up arenas. They're getting packed. They're getting sold out arenas. Even against teams that that are horrible. Even against teams that haven't won a game, like the Fever. Like Stephen A said, the Fever are 2-9, and they're going against the Washington Mystics, and they haven't won a game, but it's still sold out. Why? Because they want to see Caitlin Clark. They want to see Caitlin Clark. And I believe that the Olympics committee, they had, missed the opportunity to really, gain more exposure to the game, to the women's game, if Caitlin Clark was there, because people want to see her, not just people, like I said, in the U.S., but people outside of the U.S. People want to see her in person, and people are going to watch. Now, is she the best in the WNBA? No, not right now. No, she's not the top 12, not even close. I mean, and I'm not saying that she's bad, because she's a good player, but she's not in the top 12 right now. No. Does she have game? Yes, she does have game. Is she playing her best right now, her best ball? No, I wouldn't say that, because there's more things that she has to learn about the game of basketball, the pro game of basketball. But she is filling in seats. Like I said before, the women are complaining about the locker rooms and the salary and things that's unfair. But when it's time to promote the product, you don't want to do it because of what? Jealousy. I've been here before her. you know, I know what it takes to win, and she doesn't. She's a rookie, but let me tell you something. There's 12 people on that team. Do you think all 12 people are going to get the same amount of playing time? No. You have your, 8 core players who are going to play, the most minutes. You have those players, and there's some who might not play at all, who might not play much at all. And why not fill that spot with Caitlin Clark? Why not? Because people are going to see her. Gilbert Arenas, he said it on his show. That, jersey sales, USA, Caitlin Clark jersey sales, things like that. They are missing that opportunity. And also, it could have been the time in which the stars of the WNBA can build a relationship with Caitlin Clark. Like, build that relationship, get to know her. Teach her some things about the game, about the pro game. Build that relationship, because you're with that person. Y'all going to be together for the summer, for like a month and a half, 2 months. I don't know. For a while. Y'all going to be together for a while, that summer. So why not build that relationship with the veterans, and, she can speak on how they helped her out and how they helped improve her game, rather than her just being the villain, rather than the WNBA versus Caitlin. Why can't it just be the WNBA and Caitlin, or, the WNBA as a whole coming together, including Caitlin, like not just them against her? And that's something that they're missing. They're missing that chance in which she can build that relationship with the veterans, and teach her something, and she can, talk on how they taught her the game, the pro game, or they encouraged her, and just get to know Caitlin Clark rather than being the person against her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they are against her, even though it kind of looks like it. But, make it, get to know her. Have her to get to know you. Come together and build something together that'll last. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was an opportunity missed right there. Now, on the other hand, was she snubbed? No, I don't think that it was a snub. She was not ignored. There was some thought to it, to her being on the team. And I don't think it was a snub, because, like I said before, she's not the top 12 in the league, and I do understand where other people are coming from. The other Olympians, the veterans on the team now, they've been in the league for a while, and they've been playing in the Olympics for a while, so they know the game. They know the professional game, and they know the international game. And let's just go into what Diana Taurasi has said. Let's go. She said, "The game of basketball is about evolving. It's all about getting comfortable with your surroundings." Taurasi recently told USA Today. College basketball is much different than the WNBA than it is overseas. Each one almost is like a different dance you have to learn. And once you learn the steps and the rhythm, you will have the skill set that is superior to everyone else. Everything else will fall into place. Okay, yeah. So, the time will come, right? And like I said, you can see it from both points. You can see it from both sides. But right now, the WNBA is like they're having some challenges, or they were having some challenges. They want their brand to grow. They want it to grow now. They want it to grow, and there's nothing wrong with what Diana said. I don't think there's anything wrong, but you're saying that the time will come. But you weren't saying that about the salaries. Y'all weren't saying that about the salaries. You weren't saying that about the locker rooms when, things didn't look, the way that they were supposed to be. How y'all thought that was unfair and things like that. Y'all weren't saying that then, but as far as when it comes to Caitlin Clark, the popular one, the popular player, the villain and the superhero in college, and now also in the WNBA, and that's another thing. Like, who is going to be that college standout? Who's going to be the face of college basketball? We don't know anymore. Like, it was like we have the team of college basketball. It's South Carolina, but who will be that face? Caitlin was the villain and the superhero. And yeah, it's just I agree with what Stephen A said, and I think and I do agree to what the young ladies were saying too. Shanae was saying too, and the other young lady, I forgot her name, but I see their points. It's about winning the gold, and my point is that it's kind of like what Stephen A. Smith said. They gonna win with or without her. But that's my stance. I feel like it's all about popularity right now and what can bring the attention towards the league, towards the WNBA, jersey sales, ticket prices, things, whatever it is, merchandise, whatever it is that can bring money towards the WNBA, let's go for it. But I do understand that there are women who have played in this league for a while. Caitlin Clark is not one of the top 12 in the league, but I don't know. You have to live with the consequences. It's just like, the 92 Dream Team, it was all about popularity and who can draw the attention, to the NBA. You had Magic Johnson out there. He was about to retire, or he was retired. He was retired. You had Larry Bird out there. I believe that he retired right after he played in the Olympics. They weren't in top shape. They were not the best or top 12 in the league at that time. With Dominique Wilkins, he wasn't on the team. Of course, we know about Isaiah Thomas. He wasn't on the team. He wasn't even on the Dream Team too. I don't think he was. Well, he wasn't on that team, but I think he retired by then. But I don't know. I believe he retired by then. But yeah, like, it wasn't the top 12. And when you're trying to, grow a brand, you want to put out what sells. You want the product that sells. You want it at the front window. You want it in the front. You want it in the magazines. You want it in the commercials. That's what you want to do. You want it in the USA. You want it overseas. You want it internationally. And I think that's where they dropped the ball. But like I said, I understand why they're doing it. They don't want to hear, like they said, they don't want to hear the backlash about her playing time. So they just left her off. But like I said, there are consequences for our decisions. And let's go to the scripture, because that's what we do here. Let's go to Proverbs 16:9. It says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord established his steps. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. In Galatians 6:7-8, it says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption, but the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. So what it's saying here, I'm just saying here that, we can make plans, but it's the Lord who established the steps. So, and also in Galatians, we reap what we sow. It says that we reap what we sow, and we reap the consequences of our actions. So if she's off this team, her being off this team, it can hurt the WNBA. It can hurt due to what I said before. But we all know that all things work for the good of the Lord, for those who love him according to his purpose. So we know that. But Jesus is Lord, and that's really all that matters. And we just hope that it's a good Olympic Games, and I'm sure that they will win. They won 7 straight. I'm sure that they will win. But God bless you all. Be safe, and let's go.